Hi friends, welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, let's see how to compare two sheets, cell by cell comparison. Okay, now I will explain you how it works. There are two sheets, one is source and one is target. As you see the red color which is a mismatch. Let me remove this value and if I click it, it will be saying comparison completed and one error, that is one mismatch, that is this one. If we change it back and click again, we'll be saying zero mismatch and there are no difference, means the difference will be marked in red color. Now randomly we'll make some difference. Then if you click compare, you will get the number of mismatches and it will be coloring everywhere wherever the mismatch is. Let's say if there is a difference in the number of rows or number of columns, then it will not compare. It will say the source and target sheets are not having same rows and column. Okay, now let's see how to code this. Let me close the sheet and let's open a new Excel, create a new Excel. Let's name them the sheet as main, create two more sheets, one is source and target. Now let me give some good look to the sheet. We can even color the sheet with some color. Okay, let's keep a blue color. I'm going to insert a shape now. Whatever the shape you like, you can insert for this. Just to look like a button, I'm going to insert this one. Let me include a gray color. Let's name this button as compare. Put it in the center. Select the word. Increase the font size and font family, whatever you like you can keep, and bold. Okay, now let's keep this cell to show the number of mismatches. To know others that this is showing the number of mismatches, we'll put a text box here and say number of mismatch. Let me drag and drop it here. So now we have number of mismatches. So the GUI part is ready. Let's jump into code. Press Alt F11 or go to developer. Suppose if you are not having the developer tab, go to file, options, in custom ribbon, check this checkbox. Then you will be able to see the developer tab here. I'm using 2016 Excel. If you are using 2007 and before, the option may be different. Here click Visual Basic and you will come to the Visual Basic editor. Here now let's create a module. If you want to rename the module, you can do it here. Compare cell by cell. There should not be any space between the name. That's how the naming convention of module works. Now I'm going to create a subroutine called compare cell by cell. So just for the conflict, I don't want to keep this both the name here. Let's say compare source and target, source and target. Now I'm going to declare all the necessary global variable, that is one for a sheet source and next is target. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to get the row count and column count dynamically. Suppose if you are filling some value here, it will say row count is equal to 21, or if it is even below, it will get automatically. So for source sheet, so row and column, for target sheet, the row and column. So that is, first let's create for sheet dim source sheet as worksheet, dim target sheet as worksheet, dim, you can say public or else dim, so that's option. Instead of dim you can say public row count source as integer, public column count source as integer, public row count target as integer, public column count target as integer. Okay, now all the necessary variables are declared. Let's set the source to the source sheet and target to the target sheet. That can be done using set keyword. Source sheet is equal to this workbook dot worksheet of source. Let me copy paste. For target, get target. Make sure this source and target is equal to the name whatever you are giving in the sheet name. So I don't want this sheet to be compared, I want source to be compared with target. So the whatever the name I have given here, I am including the same thing here. And this source sheet is whatever we have declared here, and target is the same. Let's make it as a small, yeah. Now let's enter some value here. 1 2 30, fill series, let's keep it 20. Yeah, let's copy same thing to the target sheet. Now source and target looks alike. If you click compare, this need to be compared, and here we should get a 0 and it should say comparison completed. For that, first thing is we need to get the row count and column count of source and target sheet. Let's do that with source sheet and with row count. Row count source is equal to source sheet dot cells dot find what after look after, yeah, we are going to use everything. And don't worry, I will paste this code in the description, you can copy paste from there. But if you are practicing for first time, then try to write it. Uh, Within 10 or 15 times, you will be comfortable with the code. What should be non-blank thing? Non-blank cells. So star, and after this range of A1, comma, look in. Look in, you can say as Excel part or whole part. So it means in a cell, it want to look for the full cell or just a part, whether it is a blank or non-blank. So I'm going to say as Excel part, and look at Excel value or formula. We'll say values, ALUES, yeah. Then search order. Here you will not get IntelliSense if you are pressing Control space, so you need to type it. I will say Excel row, Excel, sorry, it's Excel by row, by rows, and search direction. Search direction is, we'll say Excel previous. Then what do we have here? Excel direction, then match case. Match case, we'll say false. We don't want here to be case sensitive, so it's done. Then we'll say dot row. This should give the row count, but this is very big. Let's put this one here, and we'll just say row dot. So if you are new to with block, it is nothing but every time we don't want to write this code again and again, we can put it with and the code. After that, here whatever we say dot row or dot active, all these commands we can specify in the next line without again and again writing the same value. Now let me include column for source is equal to dot column. Now let's test whether these two values are working fine. Row count source box, column count source. I'm going to press F5. There is some mismatch. Target, and this is target sheet. This also should be target sheet. What is the mismatch here? Worksheet, sorry, this is a worksheet, not workbook. Wow. Error number 2. Dot cells of find what range, look in Excel value. and look at Excel part. 30 part 30 and 20, correct. So friends, yeah, here there is a bit confusion for me. You need to work out this line of code so many times to remember it clearly, or you can just write it in sticky notes or else in notepad. If you want to use row count, target, column count, you can copy paste from there. But I suggest you guys to type it, and in few times you will master this one, trust me. Now let's create for target sheet. Just change the source to target and the numbers. We are done. We'll do the actual comparison now. For that, I'm going to create a function start compare, say call function start compare. Here we are going to take cell 1 in source first and check whether the cell 1 and the target is equal. If both are equal, then make it no color. That is something like this. If there is some color, make it as a no fill. And if there is a mismatch, color it with red color. That's what we are going to do now. For that, we need a cell. A cell consists of two values, the row and column. The row and column value we can get using for loop. Let's dim I as integer, dim j as integer. So if you see the cell 1, it is 1, 1, or this cell it is 15, 10. So 15 is the row and 10 is the column. This I is going to be the row and j is going to be the column. For I is equal to 1 to the source row count. For j is equal to 1 to row count of column. Next of j, next of I. Let's now declare two ranges for the particular cell. Cell source is equal as range dim cell target as range. Let's set the cell source is equal to source sheet dot cells of cells of I comma j dot. Okay, it's a range, so don't want to say value. If you say value, then it will become a string or whatever the cell type it is. Now if you see, all the cell types are general. You can make it as a text or number, whatever you want, you can do it. So you should not say dot here because it is a range. Set cell target is equal to target sheet dot cells of I comma j. Now if you see, we are talking just about column count of source always in this function, but here if you see we are saying targeting the target cell. Why? Because this is a cell by cell comparison. We are going to write one more logic in this to make sure the comparison will start only if the row and column count matches with source and target. If let's say source row is 10 and the code will make sure it will start comparing only if target row also 10. The same logic for column as well. So don't worry about this now. After writing this logic, you will be knowing why we are just using source column, source row count and column count. It's good not to write so many nested loops or if. So I'm going to, how you will make sure that you are not writing is after two, just if you are having one more condition, call or write one more method. Call compare value. Let's pass two values. That is source value need to be compared with target value. Now let's create this function. One more thing, when you are passing the argument, this is totally fine, it works. But if you say range here, Excel will support by giving int listens. Now, if cell source dot value is equal to cell target dot value, then we need to do no fill. Cell source dot interior dot color index is equal to 0. I will copy paste for the target, but I will suggest you guys to type everything. Target interior dot cell is equal to 0. Else condition means if a cell source is not equal to target, that is if any mismatch is there, then let's create one more variable for mismatch. Public mismatch counter as integer. Let's increment the mismatch counter. It's a public variable, so until you are closing the Excel, this count will be increasing every time, even if the code is not running. So I will suggest you guys to make it 0 here before the comparison starts. Else it will be increasing the value for first time. Say if you are running, you got one mismatch, it will be 1. If you are second time, if you are running with the same value, this value will be increased to 2. So we need to reset the counter. Then here we'll color it. Dot color is equal to RGB, red, green and blue. So default value is 255. It will be full red, and we need to make other things 0, 0. If you want to just give green, then in the center you need to give 255, and just blue in the last one you need to give 255, and other things you need to keep 0. If you combine value with some, suppose if you say 10 here and if you say 10 here, then it will be combination of 3. If you want to get a particular color what you love, then Google it RGB values for VBA. You will be getting the values for particular color. Now I'm going to use just red, so we need to make the first one as 255, and green and blue also, other two you can keep, and just that particular column you can keep 255. I'm adding for target also. So okay, to make it more interesting, let's make target as green. 255. Comparison is done. I guess the code is almost done. Okay, now as I told before, we will just check whether the columns and row are equal. So to do that, if rows source count is equal to row count target, then if column count target is equal to column count source, and if now start comparison will start only if both are equal. Still, if it is not equal, it will not do anything. At least we need to show some message box. Let's do that by declaring a boolean. Dem is row and column are same as boolean. The boolean value by default it will be false. If it is not same, we'll make it as true. Even here we'll make it as a true. So if this is equal to true, then it means the row and column are not equal. Message box source and target row and column values are not equal. Else message box, it means the actual comparison is done. Let's say compare is completed. Okay, now we need to set the mismatch count to this cell. It's nothing but 18,14. By default, if you see here, you will have ABCD. If you want to change that, you need to go to formula tab. Here, check this RC1 reference style. Then you will be seeing 1, 2, 3 here. 18, 14. We'll say after the maybe here, or you can even say it here. This workbook dot sheets of, you can say sheets or worksheets, both are same. Like here, you can say worksheets, or you can simply say sheets of main dot cells of, I forgot the number again, 18, 14. 18 is the row count and 14 is the column count. Dot value is equal to the mismatch counter. Let's save. Make sure you are saving it as XLSM. I'm going to save it as demo. Save. If you are saving in wrong format other than XLSM or XLS, your code will be gone. Now let's assign a macro to this. Suppose if you are having any image or shapes, and on clicking that, if you want to run some code, then you need to right click that image or shape, then say assign macro. Whatever the subroutines which are visible outside, those things will be seen here. So you can select that and click OK. If you click now, comparison is completed. It's 0. Let's make some changes. Click 1. That's this. And here, green color. This is not matching. And let's say here I'm including some value. And then if I click, it will say the row and column is not equal. Thank you, friends. If you have any question, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.